to all my brothers and sisters who are listening to me. This is weird for me for the first time to address not to people but to the computer. So I'm basically talking to the computer and computer does not talk back. And that's a good part of listening. Inshallah, we will continue the talk that we started last time. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين أما بعد. Just very briefly, what Brother Sharan has said, that Islamization of knowledge is not demolition of the Western knowledge or secular knowledge. We are not interested in demolishing it. We are not saying that we don't want anything from the West. No, we will borrow. It's a definite kind of project. Aim is to adopt, to adapt, and to reject. There are three things. So Islamization is something, it's not a demolition exercise. It aims at adopting those things which are Islamically acceptable without any changes. We will take it. There's nothing wrong in that one. Adapting is there are certain things which can be, which are in conformity with Quran and Sunnah, but there are a few minor things which are not in conformity with Quran and Sunnah. So we will eliminate those parts which are not in conformity with Quran and Sunnah, or we will adapt it so that it conforms to Quran and Sunnah. And thirdly, there are a few things which we know we cannot accept it for sure. So we will reject those things. Of course, the major example is zina. We will not accept it. Alcohol, khamr. Al-khamr wal-maisir wal-ansab wal-azlam rijsum min amali shaitan. We know all those things. Those shaitanic behavior we cannot accept, and we will reject those things. Other than that, we will do it. And it's a Herculean task. Islamization is not an easy job. Not everybody can do it. I cannot do it because I'm not as good as I should have, but those who can. So it requires solid grounding in Quran and Sunnah, and it requires a good knowledge about our class, our heritage, and it also requires a solid grounding in the area that you are doing it. So if you are in political science, then you should know everything about political science as much as you can. And most importantly, let me tell you one thing, most importantly, you must be good in methodology. Such methodology is absolutely essential. It's good not only for Islamization, but for your future career and everything that you are looking for. So we should be talking about that. Now I told you, things that we can accept, we will accept. Okay. So they defined political science as striving for good life. Yes, we are also talking about good life. But our good life is different than their good life. Their good life is to live a very healthy, prosperous life, free of all worries and anxieties, full of money and having cars and other things. But ours is different. Ours is amal salih, good deeds. And if I'm not mistaken, the Quran says very categorically, "Man amila salihan min zakarin aw unsa wa huwa mu'min." Okay, this is the condition. فَلَنُحْيِيَنَّهُ حَيَاةً طَيِّبًا. Good life. Okay, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, those whoever does a good deed and he is a believer, and we will give them a good life. Good life in this world as well as good life in the hereafter. So we are looking for that kind of things that we could have. They also define political science, politics as a struggle for power. Okay? So politics is the struggle for power. We want to strive, we want to take over power so that we can make decisions, so that we can decide. Okay? Should we do the same thing? Yes. We can accept that definition as a struggle for power. Power for what? power not to dominate others. Okay? We do not want power in order to dominate others. We do not want power to show off. Okay? That this is what you should do. We do not want power to curb other people's rights and freedom. Okay? We want power. Yes, we want to take power and we want to take over the government. Yes. But having taken over power, we will surrender it to Quran and Sunnah. That is the power we want. We are struggling to take over the government. Yes, we would like to do that one. We would like to wrestle from others. But having taken over, we would try to implement Islam. We'll try to implement Sharia, not our own. So we are struggling. We are wresting power in order to implement Quran and Sunnah, not for our own good. Whereas in the West, you know what it means, that I want to take over power so that I can do whatever I want. No, we don't want that kind of things. We want, if we are struggling for power, yes, we are struggling for power. We want to take over the government, but we will surrender it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that the government performs according to the dictates of the Quran and the Sunnah, so that there remains no room for corruption or whatever it is. And this is the most important part of it. Okay. Now, what is the most important topic? Oh, before we go there, I would like to tell you one distinction here. It should be made between politics and political science. These are two different things. Please do not confuse. And I have been having this problem all the time. Okay, wherever I go, they tell you, oh, Prof. Rashid, oh yes, you are a politician. I said, sorry, I'm not a politician. I'm a political science student, but I'm not a politician. That doesn't matter. Still, it's the same thing. It's not the same thing. I also had the problem. One day I was coming in, and I gave ride to 3 of my brothers. They were standing under the scorching sun. And then I said, I'm going this. I know them. I said, I'm going to this way. And then on the way, one of them said, brother, I know you. I said, how do you know me? He said, you are always leading the prayer in the masjid. I said, yes, I do. But what do I do? He said, no, you are a lecturer in the university. I said, yes, I'm a lecturer. But what do I lecture? Oh, we know. What? Quran and Sunnah. I said, no, I don't. And he said, oh, we know, you teach Arabic. Because I have beard, so I cannot do anything other than teaching Arabic or Quran and Sunnah. So I said, no, brother, I don't do this. And he said, what do you teach? I said, I teach political science. He said, Na'uz billah min zalik, please do not make this kind of joke. How can an alim become a political scientist? So do not mix up. Politics is activity. Political science is the study. We know what politicians do. We are following them and we do it, but we do not. Okay, what is the most important concept in political science? Okay? Without which we cannot talk about anything. And that concept is state. State. State is the state where we live in. Okay? So what is a state? According to the West, the state is a complex organization. It's a complex organization consisting of territory, population, government, and sovereignty. So there are 4 elements: population, territory, government, and sovereignty. Together, these 4 concepts together form an overall umbrella concept, which is called state. So a state, if you say Malaysia is a state, then they would say, okay, tell us what are the constituent elements of state, and those elements are population, territory, government, and sovereignty. So population is absolutely essential. It is the people who make the state. Okay? Without people, there will be no state. There will be nothing left. Okay? So and population must be large enough, but we don't know how large. It could be as large as you can think of, or it could be small, but not small enough to make just a small village or anything, something like that. Okay, so it should be big enough. In the West, population is divided So the population is divided into citizens and into aliens. These are the terms. I'm not creating these terms. These are the terms which are prevalent. That population in the state in the West is divided into two, citizens and aliens. Citizens are those who are members of the state, those who are born there or who have acquired the citizenship of the country, etc. And they have all the rights. Okay? They have all the rights. They can do whatever they want. But these are the citizens. Aliens are those, aliens, A-L-I-E-N-S, aliens are those who are not part and parcel of the state. They have migrated from outside, or they are coming to visit us. Okay? Yeah, we welcome them. We ask them to come because we get money from them. The more aliens come in, the better the economy would be. So, but they are not citizens. They do not have the same rights which citizens have. So citizens enjoy special rights, aliens they don't. What do we do with that? This is how it is. They have decided that aliens, they cannot vote. Citizens alone can vote. Aliens cannot vote. And in the case of Malaysia, even permanent residents cannot vote. Okay? So in Malaysia, you have three categories. You have citizens, permanent residents, and aliens. We don't like the word term aliens. Aliens seems to be someone from outer space, with horns and other things there. They are not part of it. Exactly the same thing, you know. When they say aliens, they mean they are not part of us, and therefore they have to be different from us. And therefore, the rights that we have, they don't have the rights. Aliens, they cannot work. They cannot work unless they have the permission. They have to seek, and definitely under no circumstances they can take part in elections or voting. They cannot vote because they are aliens. Okay? We Muslims, we don't like the word aliens. So in our university, we say they are not aliens. We have many aliens in the Islamic university here. So we don't call them aliens. So we tell them they are international students. Even the word foreign is not good. It's not human. Okay? What is foreign? They are all human beings like us. They are Muslims. They believe in all kinds of things that we do believe in. So why do you want to make that distinction and say they are aliens or foreigners? So we don't use the term, we say they are internationals. Internationals, we are nationals, they are internationals, and we are all brothers and sisters. That is Islamic way of treating it. Okay. So that's population. Territory is necessary. Territory is the land, the total area which a state occupies. It has frontiers, borders. These borders are essential. Without borders, there is no territory. So you must have borders. The borders that you have created, that border must be approved by other state members, and nowadays by the United Nations. They accept, they tell you these are the boundaries outside which, so inside the boundary, the government can do whatever it likes. All kinds of laws can be made inside the boundary, but that law is not applicable outside the boundary. So territory limits the reach of the government. The government can make laws for people inside the territory, but that law is not applicable outside. So if Malaysia government is making the law, that law is applicable only to the Malaysians. It does not apply to Singaporeans or Indonesians or others, because they have different territories. And the government claims that this is our territory. Territory is ours, we have the full right. Now territory, mind you, does not include only the land. Territory also includes the water, sea. Okay? Certain nautical miles are also considered part of the state. So anyone who violates it, they're saying, okay, you have entered into our territory, our water. So we can arrest you or we can shoot you, whatever you want. We can do that. And also, it includes things under the sea, under the land, territory within that frontiers. Whatever is under that land is also yours. So all the khazana is under the land. So you have the petroleum, that's your petrol. Gas, it's your gas. The gold that comes out, it's your gold. So you claim it, and nobody will question you because it is within your territory. And most importantly, territory also includes the sky. Sky is also your territory. So the sky, the boundary of the state goes straight up on the sky, and whatever you see, that sky belongs to the country. So nobody, no other country's aeroplane can cross over or can come in. You know, this is our territory. And anyone who enters without the permission of the government can shoot them down. This is our territory. The third is government. Government is the agency of the state. Government is the agency of the state. The government, without government, there will be no state. As a matter of fact, people do not know what is the state, but people know what is the government. Okay? Government acts on behalf of the state. So if you ask somebody, oh, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Indonesia. Oh, where are you from? I'm from Malaysia. But how can I say, where is Malaysia? Oh, Malaysia is in such and such place. The government is different. The government is the one which decides where it is. So government makes the law. And the most important function of the government is to maintain law and order in the society. Maintain law and order in the society. That is the function of the government, and to make sure that people obey the law. If laws are not obeyed, then we will have it. The state does not exist without a government. No matter what form of government you have, whether it's a dictatorship or authoritarian government or a democratic government or a liberal government, whatever government you have, you must have a government. And government has a monopoly of legitimate physical force. The government has the monopoly of the legitimate physical force. Only the government can maintain army. Army, Navy, Air Force, they are all under the command of the government. No individual can carry guns unless there is permission from the government. So no individual, no matter how great you are, you have no power to carry guns. Army, Navy, Air Force, you have no command, you cannot command, only the government can command. And that is the most important part of it. And government controls that one. And in the government, it is the executive which controls it. And therefore, executive becomes very important in the state. Lastly, it is sovereignty. What is sovereignty? Sovereignty has been defined as the power to do and undo whatever one wants with no restrictions. Power to do and undo whatever one wants. And that power is with the government. But that power in the state can be given to the monarch, it could be given to the president, it could be given to the parliament, it could be given to prime minister. It's up to the government to decide, it's up to the people to decide who will exercise sovereignty. Sovereignty, remember, is the power to do and undo what one wants. In Britain, in UK, The power is given to the parliament. Parliament can decide whatever they want. Whatever they want, they can decide. And whatever parliament decides, that's law. You cannot question that law anywhere. Okay? In America, it's the president. He has sovereign power. He exercises that power. Sometimes he's controlled. In monarchical government, it's the monarch who has the sovereign power. So these are four elements of state: population, territory, government, and sovereignty. And this is how the Westerners define. What do we do with that? How do we Islamize it? How do we Islamize state? Can we accept a state? Why not? Yes, state. We can accept a state. There exists a state. But the purpose of having a state is problematic. There has to be population. Absolutely, there is no doubt about that. But we will not have a division between citizens and aliens. We Muslims, we say, okay, you are all brothers, you are all sisters, you are most welcome anytime you want. We will treat you as our brothers and sisters. If you want to stay, if there is enough space, we will let you stay. Okay? You will have all the rights and responsibilities as we have. So you can enjoy. So the only distinction we make is whether you are a Muslim or a non-Muslim. We don't make distinction on the basis of where you come from. We make the distinction on the basis of what is your religion. What kind of religion do you profess? Why do we do this? Why should we know who is a Christian and who is a Hindu, etc., etc.? It is our responsibility, we must know. Why? Because we want to show respect to them. We want to show respect to them. If we know you are a Hindu, we will not force you to go to the mosque. Or we will not talk to you about Quran and Sunnah because you are a Hindu, we respect you. If you are a Christian, we let you go to temples. Okay? We let you go to the church. Sorry. We have to know. If we know, we can arrange for you also, because it is our responsibility as a state that we have. We will make sure that you have all the rights and responsibilities, even though you are not a Muslim. Muslims will have their rights and responsibilities. Christians will have their rights and responsibilities. Hindus will have their rights and responsibilities. We will respect all of them. If we know it, it would be better so that we can show respect to them. This is what Islam teaches, and we have to do this one. Of course, we would love to see all of them becoming Muslim, okay? But we don't use force. We don't use any kinds of negative thinking about them. You have your religion and I have mine. However, whatever religion you have, we will respect. If you accept our religion, alhamdulillah, come. We will welcome you. But if you want to continue with yours, yes, we will give you all the opportunities to enjoy your rights. Okay? So that's the only distinction we make. We don't make distinction between citizens and aliens and foreigners and internationals. No. We are all brothers and sisters. You are most welcome to come anytime. We will have territory also. Our territory, there will be borders, but our territory is not to separate us from others. Islam is not interested in real estate. We are not in real estate business. We are not interested in a small piece of land. We are Muslims. The whole world is ours. Iqbal, the poet Iqbal, he said that one. Muslim hai hum watan hai, sara jahan hamara. We are all Muslims. We are of the same. The whole world is ours. And that is the thing that we are promoting. So territory Yes, there will be territory. There has to be some kind of boundary so that I know how many people are living there, so that when I'm doing planning, I have to plan. So for administrative convenience, I can have territory. I will not have territory to separate human beings from one to the other. Okay? So that one we have to remember. Now what happens here, because of territory, we are divided. What kind of thing is this? A Muslim is divided from another Muslim? Pakistanis, they are Muslims, Bangladeshis are Muslims, and you divide them? How come? Why should there be divisions? Islam does not say that. Yes, you must have some kind of control so that you know, okay, so many people are there, I have to take care of their food and everything that they need. And if the outsiders, they want to come in, I would see if there is enough room. Yes, they can come in and they can stay. If we don't have it, then we will say, please bring your own chair, BYOC. We will welcome them if we have enough space. And we expect that the Muslims, those who are outside, they would figure out first and foremost whether there is enough space for them so that they become our duty. So territory is required for administrative convenience, not to separate persons from one to the other. Okay? So Indonesians, if they are Muslims, they are my brothers, they are most welcome to come. Okay? Singaporeans, if they are Muslims, they are my brothers, they are most welcome to come in. Okay? We will not make any distinction between. So a Muslim is a Muslim. He is not an Indonesian. He is not a Singaporean. He is not an American. He is not a British. He is a Muslim. So he has only one identity. That's Muslim. And all Muslims should love each other along that line. Sovereignty is the most important part. Sovereignty is the power to do and undo whatever one wants. And we in Islam, we say, nobody has that power. There is no individual, no organization, no authority in the world who can do and undo whatever he or she wants. Nobody can do that. This power belongs only to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can do whatever he likes. Whenever he wants to do something, he says be, and it becomes. فَيَقُولُ كُنْ فَيَكُونُ. That is the power. That's the power that we are talking about. And if you are talking about sovereignty, that is sovereignty. And therefore we say in Islam, sovereignty belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sovereignty belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the state, Islam, will run according to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not come down every day to tell us that, look, go here, go there. No. We have been given the Quran and we have the Sunnah. So we apply Quran and Sunnah. So when we apply Quran and Sunnah, we say, aha, this is sovereignty. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the right conduct, how to do it, and we follow that. And that is our sovereignty. So these are the differences between state in the West and state from Islamic perspective. Okay? So we look at it. If you want to use the term state, most welcome, use it. You want to use population, territory, government, and sovereignty, yes, we would like to use it, no problem with that one. However, you want to make a distinction. Population means human beings, not aliens. Okay? Population means human beings, not aliens. Imagine in the early days, people used to travel from one country to another country without ever asking for passport or visa or anything. Okay? And a person, an Arab coming to India, he becomes the minister of this and that. How come? But nowadays, not only minister, you cannot become a mister. Okay? So this is the problematic area. So if we want to take it, we can take it. There is nothing wrong with this one. However, from Islamic point of view, there will be state, and we cannot deny that. We have to have the state. But what will be the way of running the state. What are the things that we should be doing? We do not want to define a state in terms of population, government, territory, and sovereignty. Sovereignty belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We do not want to ask any question on this one. We do not want to raise any question. So we will have a state, we will have a territory, we will have a government, okay? And we will have people. How do we do it? So we say, in Islam, we go by principles. We go by principles, not by those things. So what are some of those principles that apply to the states? The first principle, which is universal, is Tawheed. Tawheed does not, it means, people say Tawheed means unity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is one. But in political science, we go a little bit more. We don't say it's the unity, we say unity and sovereignty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the meaning of Tawheed. Unity and sovereignty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That Allah is one, no one like Him. He can do whatever He wants. He has all the powers to do whatever He wants. Kun fayakun. Okay? So if you have a state and if you are Muslims, then we say, okay, Tawheed is our major principle, and Tawheed means we believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is one. Okay? He is the Lord of the universe, Rabbul Alameen. Okay? He is merciful and mercy-giving, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, and Iyyaka na'budu wa Iyyaka nasta'in. So we seek forgiveness. So this is the beauty of Surah Fatiha. We tell Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you are our Lord, you are merciful, you are mercy-giving, you are everything. Okay, we worship you, Iyyaka na'budu wa Iyyaka nasta'in, and we ask you for help. And then we say, please guide us to the right path. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Lead us to the right path. And the interesting thing is, Quran says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, okay, you are praying for me, you want me to guide you. Okay, I have given you my guidance. ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابِ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. You prayed, okay, you prayed for guidance. إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ اهْدِنَا الصِّرَاطَ الْمُسْتَقِيمَ اهْدِنَا الصِّرَاطَ الْمُسْتَقِيمَ. Guide us to the right path. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, okay, I have accepted your prayer. How do I accept? I give you the Quran. I give you the Quran. And the Quran, at the very beginning, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابِ. This is the book. لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. There is no doubt in it. هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ is guidance for those who love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who have taqwa. And those who have taqwa, يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ وَيُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةَ وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we pray and He gives you guidance immediately. So what else do you want? Why don't you follow that? So unity and sovereignty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we should obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah in the Quran says, Inil hukmu illa lillah. Inil hukmu illa lillah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, okay, I have given you the Quran. I always tell whenever I am asked to talk about it, I say, Quran is not one book, Quran is two books. Surah Fatiha is not part of the Quran. It is revealed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's different. And Quran is different. So I shouldn't say it in public, but privately I say, okay, Quran has only 29 juzu. Quran has 30 juzu. It has only 113 surah. Surah Fatiha is separate. So you have two parts of the Quran. The other parts is the rest of the Quran alone. And this is what the Quran itself says it. Quran says it, I have given you Fatiha and I have given you Sab'atam min al-Mathani. Sab'atam min al-Mathani, the 7 of repeated verses. Quran al-Azim. 7 repeated verses are Surah Fatiha and Quran al-Azim. So you have 2 parts of it. One part is our words. We are asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's our prayer. It's our prayer. You know, in other parts of the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell you, pray like this, do like this, say like this, go this. Here in the Surah Fatiha, there is no such thing. Surah Fatiha is my words. Of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed to us and we do it, but it is my word. So I am asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly and He gives me the answers. So Tawheed therefore means applying Quran and Sunnah without any deviations whatsoever. Next principle is Adala. Adala, justice. Justice. Establish justice for all. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands, "I'dilu huwa aqrabu lit-taqwa." So establish justice. Do just. Be just. I'dilu, be just. It's nearer to piety, nearer to taqwa. Do good. Do not get involved in any shameful deeds. That is Adala. Do not oppress the weak. Do not do things which would harm others. That is Adala. You must have high moral character. That is Adala. High moral character. It's part of Adala. Your standard. And you have to be upright. And especially is the leaders, political elites. They must be highly upright. Public officials. They must be highly upright. They must be morally right. Because they are leaders, so everybody is watching them, everybody is looking them, everybody wants to follow them. So ministers, prime ministers, deputy ministers, whatever it is, and the civil servants, these are the people who should be more just. Who should be more just, who will do it. Unfortunately, our leaders are not just. Our leaders are corrupt. In the Muslim world, our leaders are corrupt, and because they are corrupt, the whole country becomes corrupt. And I'm tired of telling my students, you are not corrupt yet. Go to the government, take over the government and change. Nobody dares. And whoever dares to go, he becomes like others. Corruption has to be taken care of. And you can take care of corruption only if you have moral character. Only if you have Adala. If you don't have Adala, then you don't have characters. You are not doing justice. Adala also requires another principle, freedom. Very, very important. People have the right to do what they want to do. They are fully free to do whatever they want. There should be no restrictions on their freedom. Okay? Even in terms of religion also, they have full freedom. La ikraha fid deen. Qad tabayyana ar-rushdu min al-ghayy. There is no compulsion in religion. If there is no compulsion in religion, then there should be no compulsion in any other things. This is Islam. Every individual, male or female, irrespective of gender, irrespective of race, irrespective of color, they are free. That freedom is granted by Islam. But remember this is not absolute freedom. It's not absolute freedom. It's relative freedom. You would not do to others what you do not want others to do to you. That is freedom. You do not do to others what you do not want others to do to you. That is freedom. So you do whatever is morally right. You do whatever is legally allowed. You cannot go on and say, I'm free, so I will go and kill you. No, if you kill, others will kill you also. And there will be no law. There will be no justice, no society. So freedom is relative freedom. Freedom within the boundaries established by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran and Sunnah has created boundaries for us, what we can do and what we cannot do. He has clearly laid down that. So we are not supposed to go over the boundaries. Okay? That's why Quran says, وَمَنْ يَتَعَدَّ حُدُودَ اللَّهِ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْفَاسِقُونَ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْكَافِرُونَ. If you overstep the boundaries that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created you in the name of freedom, then you are a zalim, you are doing zulm to yourself. You are even a kafir if you are doing something extra. You are a fasiq. You say you believe in something and you are doing something else. This is what the Quran says, and it is very, very scary. And we should not be doing this. As a third or fourth? The fourth principle is equality. Equality. Every individual is equal to each other. Everybody has equal rights, equal liberties, equal duties. Everybody has it. Nobody is superior. Nobody is superior to others. We are all equal. But equality, the word equality is used differently in the West. They say everybody is equal, men and women, they are all equal. So men can do, women can do whatever men can do. They are equal because they are equal. They are free. They have the rights and responsibilities. They are equal, so they can do whatever they want. Whatever men can do, women can do. They are free. But Islam does not allow that kind of freedom. Islam does not talk about equality. We talk about equity. Equity. What we are saying, equity, gender equity, means we are separate, but we are equal. We are separate, but we have equal rights. Fairness of treatment of women and men according to their respective needs. So men and women, they have different needs. You cannot turn them down just because you are talking about equality. So according to your respective needs, yes, you are equal. You will be given equal treatment. You will be given equal treatment for men and women, but it will be fair. So there will be possibility of variations. There will be differences. Men and women, they are different. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us different. That does not mean women are inferior to men or men are inferior to women. No. They are all equal in the eye of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are all equal. But you have to respect the distinction between male and female. Okay? So there is a possibility of variation. And therefore we say equity is a better term than equality. Another principle, last principle, is shura. Shura. Shura means to consult. Amruhum shura bainahum. The Quran says, okay. Or in another place it says, وَشَاوِرْهُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ فَإِذَا عَزَمْتَ فَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُحِبُّ الْمُتَوَكِّلِينَ. So Quran says you must consult people. What is the meaning of consult? Consult means you ask people's opinion after they have given your opinion, and then you do whatever you want. That is not consult. That is insult. You ask people, okay, we have this problem. How do you solve? What should we do in order to solve this problem? And people give you all kinds of opinion. And then you say, okay, thank you very much. You have given your opinion. I have consulted you. Now you can go. And then you decide what you want. Doesn't matter who has said what. That is not consultation. That is insulting. That is pure insult. So you do not insult people. You consult them. You bring them on the table. Give them full freedom to speak out openly, without fear or favor. Let them speak out. Let them say what they would like to say. Once they have said, then you have to act according to what advice has been given to you. It is expected that everybody, after long discussion, after long debate, they will come to one conclusion. Everybody will agree to a particular course of action. Unanimity. If you can get unanimous decision, alhamdulillah, it's very good. So try to get unanimous decision. This is what our ulama and the fuqaha has been saying. That you want to do any action, you want to make any policies or whatsoever, make it. But take decision which is joint. Everybody. So if you can do unanimous, it's good. Go for unanimous decision. But if you cannot get unanimity, then you go for majority. Majority, Jamhur ulama. Jamhur, what the Jamhur is saying. Okay? But do not undermine those whose opinion you have not taken. Show respect to them. Show respect to them. And say, and the worst thing that we Muslims should learn from British, the worst thing in the British Parliament, they say, is to say that I disagree with you. I disagree. This is what I learned. I was in British Museum talking to a British aristocrat gentleman, and we were discussing it, and then the topic of Karl Marx came up during the lunch, and then he said something about Karl Marx, and I did not agree with him. So I said, John, I'm sorry, I do not agree with you. And this white man suddenly became red, very angry, And I could realize it. I said, John, what happened? What did? He said, you abused me. I said, when did I abuse you? You just said you disagree with me. I said, yes, but I said, I'm sorry. He said, what is the point of saying sorry? You killed somebody and you say sorry. I said, no, brother. I said, I'm sorry. I do not agree with what you have said. He said, that is a very bad way of saying it. I said, so teach me what is the right way of saying. He said, right way of saying is, John, you have said something. I have my own opinion about it. So I do not abuse you. Yes, you respect my opinion. Yes, you have every right. Your opinion is good, nice. We have heard about it. But I have my own opinion. So you have your opinion, I have my opinion. Listen to us. We argue, we work it out. But we do not say, you bodo, you stupid, you don't know what you are talking about. This is what we do. This is what I do. Okay? So this is what I do. And then we annihilate the guy, and the guy leaves, and then we do it. But this is not the way. Everything we do it with respect. We do it with respect. We show respect. Show respect to others. My wife is not happy with what I'm saying because she says I always do the other way around. Alhamdulillah, there is nothing wrong. Okay, so we are talking about state from Islamic point of view. Yes, state, we said, we have population, territory, government, sovereignty. Our population is different. Our government is different. Our government will govern according to the shawara, according to the consultation. Okay, the government is a public government, government by the people. Government by the people. This is exactly what Abraham Lincoln said. Abraham Lincoln said, government, which government is the best? The government which is by the people, government for the people, government of the people. How do you make sure that it is government by the people? You make sure the government is by the people only when you consult people. You consult people and take decisions on the basis of their advice. Okay? And if you disagree, you have right to disagree. Yes, you have your own opinion. You should express it. Let them express it as well. And once that expression is taken care of, once they have all expressed their opinion, then you arrive at conclusion. Okay? So we have no problem with that one. We can take that one. But the best one is that state is a group of people joined together to implement the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is our definition of a state. It's a group of people joined together to implement the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in order to implement the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we follow certain legal principles. First and foremost, we believe in Tawheed. Okay? And we believe that in al-hukm illa lillah, that the command comes from nobody but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That does not mean Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes down on earth. He has given us the Quran and Sunnah, so we follow the Quran and Sunnah. So all the laws and regulations that the government makes has to be based upon Quran and Sunnah. And they have to make law. Anihkum bainahum bima anzal Allah. Allah says, بينهم بما أنزل الله ولا تتبع أهواءهم. This is the most important part of it. So this is Tawheed. And then we talk about Adalah. اعدلوا هو أقرب للتقوى. Be just, do justice, even if it is against your interest, even if it goes against you, you must do justice. And justice means to be right, to be upright, to be morally correct. Okay? And most importantly, this applies to all. Most importantly, it applies to our leaders, our elites, those who are ruling. We would like them to be just, being adil. And then they must make sure that there is freedom, and we must have equity. We must have equity, and all the decisions are taken on the basis of shura. We stop here today, inshallah. If you have any questions, you are most welcome. Please forgive me if I'm wrong. And everything is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Okay, Prof. Thank you so much, Prof. We go straight to question. I take Brother Nuruddin first. I think it's most relevant. How do you think about the Machiavelli figure, who is often named the father of modern political science? Machiavelli's work is considered to mark a new perspective of political science that is completely based on empirical studies without the need to talk about ethics. Please respond.
Machiavelli is the father of modern political science. Machiavelli is he does not believe in any morality. To him, politics is the art of survival. Okay? You can do whatever you have to do in order to stay in power. The purpose of politics is to capture power, retain power, and implement power. Show off. Okay? And for that, everything is allowed. There is no law, there is no law. Whatever is okay. So if you have to lie, please lie. If you have to cheat, please cheat. As long as you fulfill your desire, as long as you capture power, retain power, and this is especially, this is the advice during those days given to the prince. And the title of his book is called The Prince. Very interesting book. We should read that book, but we should not do what he asks us to do. It is totally against principles of law. And unfortunately or fortunately, people have been following Machiavelli. People have been following Machiavelli, and as a result of which there is a lot of corruption. As a result of which people, once they come to power, they don't want to give up the power, and they will do whatever. You can look at Donald Trump, what he is trying to do. He wants to be re-elected. The election is in November, on the 10th of November. He wants to be re-elected for another 4 years. But, and in order to do, for this, he is going to do whatever he has to do. And he is the only president who is known to have lied every day. They call him compulsive liar. But there is nothing wrong in it. In politics, everything is allowed. So it is not advisable to do it, not advisable to follow Machiavellian principles. And whoever does it, people abuse him by saying, oh, he is Machiavellian. Machiavellian is an abusive term. We don't want to use that one. But politicians are using Machiavellian principles as much as they can. And nowadays, nowadays in Malaysia, Machiavellian principle is very much applicable. They are using it, but we should not do it. We should not be following it. And those who follow, they have destroyed the government. And therefore, somebody has defined government. What is government? They say government. What is politics? Politics is art of governing by cheating. Politics is the art of governing by cheating mankind. And this comes from the Machiavellian principles. Before that, we did not have this kind of thing. But Machiavelli comes up very, and in India also, we have equivalent Machiavelli author who has followed similar policies and asking the Hindus to follow the same rules that Machiavelli has suggested.
Prof, we take second one from Brother Wan Omar. Dear Prof, is the concept of shura is same with democracy and parliament system? If not the same, what are your recommendations that needed to change to closer representing shura? Is any Muslim countries right now closer to the concept of shura?
Brother Shahran, I think we should not take any more questions from anybody.
Oh,
from
okay.
now on. It's a very difficult question to answer. Okay, shura and democracy are two different things. Please take note of that. Shura is different, democracy is different. Shura is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's the Quran and the Sunnah. Democracy is man-made. So one is God-made, one is man-made. These are two different things, number one. Number two, in democracy, democracy is what? Democracy is government by the people, for the people, of the people. So whatever people want, you have to apply. So if majority of the people want to drink alcohol, alcohol is halal. But no matter how many ulama and how many fuqaha comes and gives you the fatwa that alcohol is halal, it will never be halal because it is haram. Very clear. So when we are using shura only in matters on which Quran and Sunnah is silent. There we have the full freedom to argue and discuss. But where Quran and Sunnah is very, very clear, there will be no shura. Nobody should go against Quran and Sunnah. Nobody should talk about it. This is it. And therefore, shura is very, very important. Do we have shura anywhere in the world? Unfortunately, no. Everybody claims that they have shura, but we don't have shura in the world. If you are talking about shura, the Westerners are better than us. Westerners are better than us. If you eliminate those haram things from their discussion, everything else is shura. Very important. Can you imagine this? That in a country like in America, I hate that part, but in America, people are abusing day and night Donald Trump, most powerful person in the world. Day and night they're abusing it. If you open CNN, CNN is totally against Donald Trump and saying day and night, abusing him and finding all kinds of faults. But CNN survives. Okay? Donald Trump does not go and thank him or does not arrest and keep people there inside. In the Muslim world, if anybody says a bad thing about anyone, may Allah help you. May Allah help you. I know one country where if you say something against the Prime Minister, you will vanish. That's a magical world. So we have the principles, we don't have the practice. So my answer to you, brother, is shura and democracy are two different things. Shura is Islamic, democracy is man-made. Shura allows you to argue cases in which government, Quran and Sunnah is silent. Democracy or parliamentary system of government allows you full freedom to argue, discuss whatever it is. And this is the reason why you will see that in the Western world, some countries have gay rights given, some countries gay rights are not given. In Islam, we will not have that kind of thing because it is not allowed. It's haram. Haram is haram. Inna al-halal bayyin wa inna al-haram bayyin wa baynahuma umur mutashabihat. Stay away from those mutashabihat. What is halal is clear, what is haram is clear. And in between you have doubtful cases, so the best thing is that you stay away from those doubtful cases. Third question.
Thank you so much, Prof. Our time is up, already 1 full hour. You have summarized your lecture already, but you want to say 1 or 2 more minutes, Prof, before we close?
I have said whatever I wanted to say. I want to say that the principles of states are very important. Tawheed, Adala, Hurriya is freedom, Sawa is equality, and Shura is consultation. These are very, very important principles. It's applicable not only for the state, but also in our daily lives. If we can take those principles and apply it to our daily lives, believe me, we will benefit a lot more than what we can think about it. So these principles are universal principles. It depends upon whether you want to apply it to an individual or you want to apply it to a social gathering. You can apply it anywhere you want. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it very easy for us to understand. But what is the purpose of understanding the principles if we do not practice it? The important thing is to practice it. Even if the world is not doing it, if you do it, that will be enough. If we start doing it to ourselves, others will inshallah follow. Wallahi tawfiq wal hidayah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, Prof. See you next week, inshallah. Same time, same date, same time, same day.
With the same kind of difficult questions to answer.
Much more difficult now, become even harder.
No problem, inshallah.
Okay, everyone. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.